haven't noticed, winter is well and truly coming. But just because the roads might slip doesn't mean your standards have to too. I'm here to give you some top tips on how to promote active travel even in the colder months. Tip number 1. I like to lower my saddle when it starts to get a bit colder just because the roads can be a bit slipperier and it's nicer to have a good steady saddle so that you're not wobbling about. Another great tip is to make sure that when you're out cycling on grit, you don't let the grit stay on your bike so that it rusts up. I like to make sure that I wash down my bike with some warm water at the end of the day just to make sure that it doesn't get rusty. But there's no point going out cycling if you don't have any lights. I can't stress how important enough it is to make sure that you have some lights on the front and back of your bike so that when you're traveling on the roads, the cars can see you. The sad reality is that when it gets colder, we're more likely to puncture our tires on our bike, and it can be a bit dangerous to cycle when you're not sure your bike's up to standard. I always make sure that I'm going to get my bike regularly checked and maintained, and I would like to thank Edinburgh Bike Cooperative for doing that for me. Another really important and probably quite obvious tip in the winter is to make sure that you're wearing the right clothing. I'm always sure that I've got a base layer and a mid layer on when it's a bit colder so that once you get out, you're not there freezing. But my biggest tip would have to be that as important as active transport is, it isn't always the safest method. Please, if the roads are too dangerous to cycle on, don't feel like you have to go out that way and source another way of getting to your destination.